Sweets for my sweet, sugar for my honey. Your first sweet kiss thrills me so.
CJ Lewis with Sweets for My Sweet. No, it's not. It's CJ Lewis. Barry, who's this by, please?
Is this the Searchers?
Yeah, okay, not the Drifters, okay.
No, it's the Searchers.
Thank you. By the Searchers, obviously. That's my choice. I really love that song. I just didn't happen to know who it was by. 81333 Leeds at the start of your message. Would you like to hear Charlie's choice, or do you want to hear my choice? Now, the people helping me out with my choice and telling me exactly who sung it are a group of people who are about to do something absolutely extraordinary. We've got Ken Taylor joining us. Morning, Ken.
Morning.
We've got Fiona Galloway. Hello, Fiona.
Hello.
We've got Barry Green.
Good morning.
And we've got Ben Hopwood.
Morning.
Now, Ken, it's lovely to have you in the studio. I'm very excited for you because next week, these three people here are doing what with you in charge of them?
Well, I'm directing the mechanicals, which is Bottom, Snug, Snout, Starveling and Peter Quince, as part of a Royal Shakespeare production, Royal Shakespeare Company production of A Midsummer Nights Dream at the Alhambra.
So, the Royal Shakespeare Company, let me just put this in context. One of the greatest companies, forget Shakespeare companies, one of the greatest theatre companies in the world is bringing A Midsummer Nights Dream to Bradford. And what they've done is they've gone round the country and they've found, and don't anyone get offended by this because I'm one of you, amateur actors to join them on stage in A Midsummer Nights Dream. And they're playing some pretty significant roles, aren't you, Ben? Who are you playing?
I'm playing Francis Flute, the bellows mender.
And how about you, Fiona?
I'm playing Tom Snout the Tinker.
And how about you, Barry?
I'm so lucky. I'm playing Bottom.
Now,
Bottom
has been played by some of the best actors that we've ever seen, and you've got that role with the RSC.
Yeah, that's right, Nick. I've got to follow this role in some giant footsteps. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, though.
Are you terrified at this point?
I would have to say I'd be lying if I said not. Yeah, I've got there. The butterflies are breeding as we speak.
The butterflies are breeding in his belly as he gets ready to play Bottom. Now, Fiona, tell us about Midsummer Night's Dream. If people haven't seen it, we're going to hear a clip, by the way, from the production, which is really exciting. But if we haven't seen it, what is this play?
Midsummer Night's Dream is a magical play that has a lot going on in it, and it focuses around two groups of lovers that sort of. There's lots going on, there's lots of, like, love triangles and things like that, and they get lost in the woods, and the fairies come and have sort of their little mischiefs with the lovers. And whilst that's going on, us, the mechanicals, are rehearsing a play for the Duke of Athens, Theseus. And whilst we're in the wood, Puck, the very mischievous fairies, comes and has her little wicked way with Barry, our Bottom, and essentially there's a little bit of a romance between Bottom and the Fairy Queen, but I don't want to tell you too much because you need to come and watch it next week.
It's one of my, well, it's a very popular play. It's performed quite often. It is absolutely one of my favourite plays. And by the way, congratulations. It seems like you've done your homework or something there.
Well, we've been doing it for a year now. So
okay. You've obviously never heard the show. We don't really do a lot of preparation. We just see what happens. Ken, what I'm trying to get my head around and what I've been trying to understand is how it's working. So the RSC have their professional company that are going to be touring around, and they go to 14 different venues, and at each venue they have a new set of amateur actors joining them. How do you rehearse that?
Well, the good thing is that the rude mechanicals, as Puck calls these amateur actors, are largely separate from the other actors for large parts of the play. So what I've done is directed my actors in their scenes. Then we have an associate RSC director, Sophie Iverts, who's with us at the moment, and she stitches the thing together so that we interface with the professionals, and it works like a charm. And everywhere that the show's gone on, it's been absolutely tremendous.
It seems like a huge feat of, I mean, I don't even know what to call it, engineering, organisation. Logistics, that's the word. Ben, tell me about being involved and getting to go on the stage of the Bradford Alhambra Theatre with the RSC.
It's absolutely incredible. We've had a couple of rehearsals there, and even just standing in the empty space, you're sort of looking around and going, "What this is big. This is something." Yeah, the room is massive. The project is massive. It's it feels insane, and at the same time, everyone we're meeting is just. They're all sort of really down-to-earth people. They love their job, and it's been great.
And you're all from one particular theatre company, aren't you?
Yes, we're all from Leeds Arts Centre here in Leeds, and Yes, well, we're a bit of a big family already. So there's some of us that had never worked together, but, you know.
That happens, though, doesn't it, when you're in these amateur casts? Everyone kind of really bonds. And what I think is fascinating about this is the fact that you're going to get to go on stage with, like, some really famous people with the RSC. And what's your day job, Ben?
I work on computers.
Barry?
I'm a carer for Leeds City Council.
I work as a Senior Development and Information Officer for the Leeds City Council.
You're like the Chandler of the group. She's a transponster.
Yeah.
So you do these ordinary jobs, and then at the end of the day, you go and rehearse with the RSC.
Oh, yeah. And I would love to say that obviously it sounds hard. We do full day jobs and then go work with the Royal Shakespeare Company. But I love it. And you get to essentially take that day job and then go and perform with the Royal Shakespeare Company, where you're learning so much more. And it's not a job, it's just pure joy constantly. It's just brilliant.
And you're going to get to be on stage next week at the Alhambra. When you've been standing on the stage, Barry, especially knowing the key role that you have, and everyone knows what happens. You get turned into a donkey's... you get turned into an ass, don't you? Methinks I was enamoured of an ass, says Titania.
Yeah, that's right.
So you get turned into a donkey, and the Queen, Fairy Queen, falls in love with you. It's a big role, and you're so unassuming. You sat there in your lovely turquoise hoodie, by the way. I mean, how are you going to hold that stage?
I know, and I probably won't be able to tell you the answer to that until after Tuesday night. But like Ben did say earlier on, we have had the luxury of being on the stage a couple of times, and when you stand there, it's a bit like probably being on the Wembley pitch, and you look out to this massive arena. But there's something about the Bradford Alhambra that it just absolutely embraces you.
I'm so glad you said that, about the analogy, because if people don't quite understand this, Ken, it's like if you're playing football for your local club and you get to play at Wembley. That's what this is the equivalent
It's
of.
as if you play for your local team on a Sunday morning and then you end up in the World Cup final. Never mind Wembley.
Never mind Wembley, Bollybottom. Yeah. Well, listen, obviously, before you go, we're going to be hearing some Shakespeare from you. The language in this play is beautiful. It's got one of my favourite speeches at the end. Puck says, it goes like, if we shadows have offended, think but this and all is mended. It's so beautiful. And you get to say that on stage. Well, you're going to be joined by Aisha Darker, who people might know as she played the wife in The Indian Doctor, the BBC series. And this is her as Titania, speaking those wonderful words. After we hear from this, we'll be taking more of your votes for Charlie's midlife choices, whether you want to hear Sweets for My Sweet by... Is it by the Searchers? It's by the Searchers. And people are saying it's by the Hollies. People are trying to correct me. Or Charlie's nonsense, which is... What is it? The Elvis song, the obvious one, Suspicious Minds. 81333 leads at the start of your message when you get in touch. This is a flavour of what you'll hear when you go to the Alhambra later this week.
Set your heart at rest. The fairy land buys not the child of me. His mother was a votaress of my order, and in the spiced Indian air by night full often hath she gossiped by my side, and sat with me on Neptune's yellow sands, marking the embarked traders on the flood, when we have laughed to see the sails conceive and grow big-bellied with the wanton wind, which she with pretty and with swimming gait following, her womb then rich with my young squire, would imitate, and sail upon the land to fetch me trifles and return again, as if from a voyage, rich with merchandise. But she, being mortal, of that boy did die, and for her sake do I rear up her boy, and for her sake I will not part with him.
Aisha Darker, who will get to join the Leeds actors on stage at the Bradford Alhambra next week with the RSC. Coming up, we'll find out more about what it's like to have a day job as a carer and then go onto the Bradford Alhambra stage and play one of the greatest Shakespeare roles ever. I feel fine, the Beatles. I'm not feeling very fine at all. I've just had the... All right, and this is the actual phrase that was used. You're getting a real spanking in Charlie's midlife choices today. Charles Heslett from our news team comes in, he pitches a song, I pitch one against him. You get to choose which one we get to play. I don't think I've got a single vote from outside the building. In here, however, Barry, you really want to hear my choice, don't you?
I certainly do, Nick, yeah. It's my era. I love it.
Okay, so I've got Sweets for my sweet. Charlie's got Suspicious Minds. Let's just have a collective vote. Does everyone... You want to vote for me, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so that's 4 votes in here. That makes it... I'm still getting a spanking, apparently. Okay. We're joined live in the studio by an amazing cast of people who are going to get to go on stage with the Royal Shakespeare Company. We've got Barry Green, who's playing...
I'm playing bottom.
We've got Ben Hopwood, who's playing...
Flute.
Fiona Galloway playing...
Snout.
And Ken Taylor...
My work is done.
He's the dictator. Sorry, the director. So tell me, how on earth has this come about, Ken, that a group of amateur actors are getting to appear on the RSC?
We got a message from the Alhambra. They were looking for amateur actors to work with the RSC. Couldn't miss that. We got involved in 2 rounds of auditions, which we were successful in, and we've been working alongside the RSC now for just going on for 12 months. We've been rehearsing independently, apart from Barry, who's been going to work with Aisha from time to time, and now we're putting it all together this week.
So, Aisha is the woman that we heard speaking those amazing words. I suppose the obvious question that I imagine lots of people thinking is, do you know your lines?
Just about. Well, no, we do.
What do you mean just about? Stage on Tuesday?
Yeah, we do. We're quite confident with the lines, if I may say so.
You say quite confident or quietly confident?
Well, at this stage, I think it's a nice sort of position to be in.
Nick, they're absolutely faultless, and they have been for quite a long time.
Yeah.
So, the risk of sounding a little bit naughty on a Saturday morning, can I have a blast of your bottom?
No. You can't. What I'll do, I'll give you a blast of my bottom when Aisha is on the piano with me, obviously, and she's just leaving after making sure I'm okay, and then I go, when me kill comes, call me and I'll answer. Me next is most fair Perimus. Hey-o, Peter Quince. Float the bellows mender. Snout the tinker. Starveling. God's me life. Stolen ensign left me asleep.
Hey! What a beautiful rendition that was of the lines of Bottom. Ben, how much fun are you having? We've talked about the nerves, we've talked about what it's going to be like. It must be so much fun.
Oh, yeah, it's incredible. I mean, it sometimes feels like, you know, you've got a group of friends who've just been allowed to play, and you take some chances and you do some things, and you look up and you think, oh, are the RSC going to tell me off now? And they're all there going, that was brilliant. Now let's make it better.
So you've got to work with some of the RSC people. They've been up, haven't they, Fiona?
Yeah, so Lucy Ellison, who plays Puck in the production, came up for a rehearsal with us. And not only is she fantastic, she's also the nicest person you could meet. And I think she's been a real almost stalwart with the amateurs, because she just embraces all the amateurs across the country.
Well, listen, it sounds like you're fulfilling a dream of that lots of people would have. Anyone that's done any kind of amateur acting will know just how special this is. Does it open on Tuesday, Barry?
Yes,
Does
Tuesday.
it run until Saturday?
It does indeed.
And is the number 01274 432 000, Fiona?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. And Ken Taylor, finally, tell me, when we love the performance of these lot, where do we get to see them again?
Well, 4 of the cast, including myself, are involved in Macbeth, which is on at the Carriage Works Theatre in Leeds from the 27th to the 30th of June, and that
April.
is April. Goodness me.
Very soon.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Right.
Yeah, and that's
Yes,
with Leeds
a
Arts
fortnight
Centre.
after, and that is going to be absolutely tremendous.
Well, listen, we can't wait to see that. We can't wait to see you in Midsummer Nights Dream. Have an amazing time. What a brilliant thing to be doing.
Thank you.